All right, YouTube. What is going on? It is your boy SoraLifeStory, man, and we are back with another video. And guys, I just wanted to make this video because man, one, it's late. I just got back from a late gym session. That was good. So I'm feeling very energetic right now. Um, and I meant to make this video earlier in the day. It's just been a long day. But I wanted to talk about Summer Games Fest and what I thought about it, and also what I think about this new E3, not E3 period. It's so weird because can I just be very honest? It's so hard to get excited for these game showcases now. And for years, man, for years, I have grown in this space of tempering expectations and understanding that game development has changed. Games take a lot longer to develop. Um, they just aren't what they used to be. They take a lot longer to develop. Things are very different, and I'm in a space where I understand that games are just very different. With that being said, though, I don't know if I'm fully okay with that. At least in the sense of how these showcases are. They're very split up. They're very just I don't know what to say about them besides that it's not really something that when you look at it in the grand scheme, I don't know if it's something that's really I don't know, worthwhile in the end. And we're getting to this period now, like for the past couple of years, really since 2021, because 2021 was the last E3, or if it was 2022. I think 2022 got canceled, and then 2023 also got canceled. And then they tried to bring it back this year, and it just like, this is it. This is done. But I don't know if I'm really liking this period. I mean, it's great. We're seeing a lot of games. We're still seeing a lot of games, guys. And that's what's so crazy because we're actually in a period now where we see so many games from big publishers, from smaller publishers, from independent, and even like Jeff was talking about in the show a lot of just people that were single person developers. We're seeing so much of that, and I think that that's incredible. Um, and I guess in a sense where that is kind of faulted in is the sense of quality. What are the quality of these games and stuff like that? But it is really, truly, honestly, these showcases just aren't great. Summer Games Fest is just a very okay showcase. I'm so serious. It just is. There is nothing about Summer Game Fest. I keep saying games, but it might as well be. But there's nothing about Summer Game Fest that screams amazing showcase. And it's so I mean, I guess at some point you would kind of perfect the stage show, right? I think that Microsoft has done a great job with that over the past few years about the stage show. But I don't know, there's just like no life to these showcases. They're very scripted. You can tell. Very scripted, and that's fine too. It's not to say they haven't always had scripts. There's always been scripts, but there's just been a quirkiness. There was a quirkiness to the E3 showcase, to the E3 press conference. And, to be fair, we haven't had those really since 2018, 2019. But there was a quirkiness, even to the bad ones, even to the ones where you can literally watch it and say, that was like bad. There was something about it that even if the company had one bad year or two bad years or three bad years, we always looked forward to that E3 time period. We always did, even in those latter years when things really started to just get stale and things like that. When E3 came around, people were still excited with Summer Games Fest. And especially uh now after this showcase, I can really tell there's just not a lot of that excitement. A lot of the crowds felt very scripted too. Like they paid some guys to like or people to be, excited about stuff. And that's not to say that people that were there weren't excited. There were gamers there. Summer Game Fest is a gamer thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can buy a ticket for it. You can go be a part of that audience. But I don't know, something about it just feels very, I don't know, just very generic, very formulaic, very just not authentic, not something to really get too excited for. And the thing about these game showcases is they're great. We're always going to enjoy seeing new games. I always enjoy seeing new games. A lot of gamers always enjoy seeing new games. But it speaks to the broader issue of everyone kind of going with this having their own show thing. Because now you have Summer Game Fest and Jeff actually he got some Jeff he got actually got some good games. Okay, let's not get it twisted. He got Sparking Zero with the release date. He got the Horizon Lego game. He got all of these pretty decent looking games, pretty good games actually too that we're looking forward to. We won't really know what a lot of them because there's no demos or any way for us to play them yet. So we have to actually go off of word of mouth, which we always have. But the the layout of the showcase, I don't know. There's not really a lot of power, but for the hype to really like get you hyped up for this stuff, it's just like we got this new game from this studio that or we got this game that was made by one person and all this stuff like that, and then it just goes into it, and it's like okay. And it's always great to have surprises. I think he was really good about that this year and just the team at Summer Games Fest. They were really good about that, about letting things be a surprise. I think some stuff they kind of just were telling us, and I was like, why'd you tell us that? Like, let it be a surprise. But for the most part, um, you know, for the most part, I think they were really good. I think it was really good. But outside of that, I don't know. It just felt like there was no life to the show. It was like trailers, and that's always good. You don't like these things to drag on, but I'm speaking for myself. For me, at least with this E3 season, like people used to take off work, used to set aside time in these days to see these game announcements regardless of what people have said about E3 in the past and about these showcases and stuff like that, we actually like these long showcases. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it was a 2 hour show was great, but it did not feel like a 2 hour show either. It didn't feel all that substantial. And I don't know. It just felt like everything. Like I love the direct format, how everything moves quick with a Nintendo Direct, but the Nintendo Directs are still like the big directs that they do, are still very quirky, still very fun. This here though was it was just like okay, trailer, talk a little bit, trailer, talk a little bit, trailer, talk a little bit. Have some developers and publishers and some speakers come on, talk for a little bit, do that, and that was cool. But then it's just like they're there for like 4 or 5 minutes, and it's like, okay, get off there again. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the same thing that happened with the Game Awards this past year, and that's what I don't like about him kind of being the main like stage showcase presence now, because I don't know, it's not, it feels like a monopoly. I think this summer game fest was a lot better than the one last year. So there is definitely some progress in the growth of it. But I don't know. This is just not E3 season. It's not the same. And I think we can all admit to that. And it's never going to be the same. I don't think E3 is coming back. I don't think it will. Uh you know, it's cheaper. We've talked about this for years. Since like 2020 really. And even I think even before that, 2019, 2018. It's easier for all of these companies to get their own state, have their own state. It's a lot cheaper for them to have their own presence and to be able to have their own show when they want to have it. But it is not for the gamers because of this. Nintendo was very ahead of the curve with the direct format. I think Microsoft has really nailed the direct format with those developer directs that they do uh at the beginning of the year. I think Sony has nailed the direct format with the PlayStation State of Plays. I think they really have nailed it with the State of Plays. I think they've done really good with the State of Plays. That doesn't mean the State of Plays have been good. It's just saying that I think the format of it has been really good. But that last State of Play, there's a reason why I didn't make a video on it. I love Sony enough that I did not want to be roasting them like that, which I should have. So that show, see, I've been making a lot of videos about console fanboys in general, and particularly PlayStation fanboys. But even you know what I'm saying? I still have some of my bias. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to sit there and roast on the State of Play. But I can tell you, the State of Play was bad. It was not good. It was not a good State of Play. But this is not about the State of Play. This is about Summer Game Fest. And like I said, the format, I think, is a lot better than it when it started in over the past couple of years. And I like that there's a stage now, and it's great. But I'm not feeling it. When I watched it, I was gonna stream that, but I didn't get home in time, so I just watched it on my own, and I was waiting to have this video because there are a lot of games that did interest me. Contrary to popular belief, like there are games for everybody, guys. Just because there may be games there that don't appeal to you, when we rate these showcases, it is by our own bias, because we might see a game and you might think, oh, that's a cheap little indie game and it doesn't look all that great, or what's up with that anime art style and all that stuff like that. But there's somebody out there for them that was amazing. That was what they were looking for. And you can't be mad at them about that. For me, overall, for the games being shown and all of that, it was a 6 out of 10 show. For me, all you have to do is show a first or third party game that is something that I find interesting, or even an indie. You show an indie, a first or third party game, and you can show that, and the show is already at a 5 out of 10. And a 5 out of 10 literally just means it is a mid show. But when I give it a 6 out of 10, I'm saying that out of, okay, I like the games that were shown. And I like the trailers. But outside of that, I gave it 1 point just for the presentation. It was a high quality presentation. But that's it. After that, I'm just like, I can't give it any higher than that. There was no life to the show. And then really I wanted to just give it a 5 out of 10 for something that they did, but I felt like that was too biased. But it was the whole Valorant thing. For one, this is me going on a small tangent, but Valorant is not a console game. I don't know how that's about to work, but hey, that's a whole nother video for Valorant on console. Yeah. Anyways, but then it was after Valorant. For one, Valorant got an extremely long showing. It was about 10 to 12 minutes of Valorant. Just one, they had the trailer where they announced it on like console, and then they started doing all this esports and talking about all this stuff. And I'm like, Valorant is an esports game. I get it. But man, it got a nice little chunk of time. But then right after that, he brought up Youngye and how he's in Inside Out 2, and I'm like, I don't know how he did that, but he brought up that, and then they showed his character in the movie and all that. And my thing is like, how long is this dude even gonna be in this movie? Like, did y'all just blow the load and just show the whole cameo appearance in the movie of that video game character that he's supposed to be? And it was also like, why is this here? But that's the other part that I wanted to talk about. We have to understand that unlike other companies, this is mostly like Jeff's thing. He put this together, right? And with that being said, this it's got to be paid for somehow. And what I'm grateful for is unlike with the Game Awards, which is way more potent with this, with the ads. He somehow was able to fit it all in one section. And I had to give props for that because the thing is, this show could have easily been riddled with them throughout. He put them all at the last section. However, the execution was terrible. You put them all at the end, and then you're like, oh, one more game. I would have just personally, if that was what you were gonna do, that should have been the last announcements and the last thing. Even the Young Yet thing with Inside Out 2, you that should have been he should have been the last thing. It should have been like, all right, we're showing our last big game, and then you run these ads at the end, bro. Cause at the very least, you would not have folks sit like the comment section was going and saying, I barely even said anything in the comments. It's just it's hard to keep up in the comments of these type of live streams. But bro, never, ever do that again. It was bad. It was bad. But yeah, just I just had to say all that to say, man, that this showcase season, where we're at with it, it is not the same. And then this is the thing that I also want to talk about too. Did you guys see the thing about how all of this, we're getting all this new trailers and information and stuff, and then they're sitting there telling you, "Oh, you need to watch the next showcase to get more." Don't get me wrong. That happened during E3. It happened during press conferences and stuff too. You might have Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo get a third party game shown at their showcase, something from like EA or something from like Ubisoft or something from Activision, and they will show it, and then they'll be like, tune in to the Activision show or tune in to the EA play or tune in to the Ubisoft Forward or whatever to see more of it. That has always happened. But the way they did it here was just terrible. We were getting like 30-second to 1 minute trailers of the game, hype you up, and then they're like, okay, wait till Monday to watch the Ubisoft Forward. What? Why is the Ubisoft Forward not Saturday? Why wasn't it today? Like, and then it was other stuff they were talking about. Oh yeah, and watch this one at Gamescom. Gamescom is in August. Bro, what? You were supposed to blow a lot of the load here, and Gamescom was just supposed to be extra. What do you mean, show me a 1 minute trailer and then Wait till Gamescom in August, which is 9 times out of 10 gonna be another Jeff Keighley show with opening night live. Like, dude, that it seems like that's all we've been doing this generation, man. Is like wait for announcements, wait for trailers, wait for games. I don't mind waiting for games. So that's not my issue. But I do dislike when we get held out for information for too long. And I have to tell that to some of my friends, you know what I'm saying, online, because it's like, yeah, let the companies cook. That's perfectly fine. Let the companies cook. But when you don't get information for a lot of these games, that is screaming development hell. You know what I'm saying? That means that the game development is not going well. And you don't know if a game's been canceled. You don't know if the team is struggling. You don't know what's going on. You might be excited for that game. And I'll tell you, the older you get and you start to deal with that more and more, you just tune out. All hype dies. And I don't know if many developers recognize that, you know? I don't know if they recognize that happens. That people will tune out of the hype for your game if you sit there, and it's happened a lot with like Square Enix recently and stuff like that. With the whole Kingdom Hearts 4 situation, I think that is perfectly reasonable. With the amount of time that Kingdom Hearts 3 took, I think people were expecting too much with wanting to see Kingdom Hearts 4 this year. We might still see it this year, but I don't think so. But regardless, a lot of these other games, you got games that were revealed back in 2020, back in 2019 when these systems were first revealed, and we're not seeing them. And it's like, or we see them now, and then it's like, okay, and it's like, oh, still not releasing soon. And they're like, oh, we'll have more information at this show. It's like, no, we need more information now. I don't know, man. It's just this thing, this whole showcase thing, this whole direct thing. It is a lot messier than it should be. The lack of E3 is really is not a great thing because when we had E3, people, the companies, they had to blow their load. They had to show us some games, man. They couldn't come with that crap and have us waiting and stuff like that. And I guess it's just par for the course. I guess it's just a sign of the times. But I'll tell you, it's hard to get hype for games when one, you got to wait for this showcase or that showcase to be shown. And it doesn't help when you got a bunch of other content creators that share leaks and rumors and oh, this showcase is supposed to happen in here. Oh, wait, never mind. No, it's supposed to be happening this week. Okay, look, they finally confirmed it. This showcase is this week, as we said. But I don't know, man. I'm always enjoy gaming. I still love gaming, even though I do not get to game as much as I like to. But I don't know. I don't like how it's spread out. I don't like. I did not like that a lot when they were saying like the main one that got me. It wasn't even the Ubisoft Forward because that's Monday and some of the other stuff that was happening this weekend with like for the Day of the Dev stuff and stuff like that. I wasn't even mad at that, but boy, it definitely killed me when they were like, "Yeah, wait till Gamescom for all of this." I'm like, Gamescom is supposed to be the extra, bro. Like, yeah, we get announcements and stuff at Gamescom too, and I know that Gamescom is really big. Like, it's almost kind of like the E3 replacement is getting close to it, and it technically, I guess, is still in the summer. But man, August is, that's right before the last 4 months of the year, and that's when we start to get a lot of bangers. And it's like you're gonna be announcing new stuff while also dropping all these banger games. It's like I don't know. I don't know if it's a type of sensory overload thing for me or something. But man, it's just I don't know, man. And then that's just like we don't even know if this Gamescom opening night live or whatever else is coming with Gamescom is gonna be good. If we'll see any of the big publishers like Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation there. So I don't know. It's just a mess, guys. I'm grateful for where we're at. I'm grateful that gaming information is just out there. It's great for content creators. It's great for uh, people like me that just do content for fun and just part time and just enjoy doing it. And if I ever do get to, do it a little bit more, then that's cool too. But I don't know, man. It's very messy. It's very messy because then you got to sit through a lot of showcases that probably aren't even good, and that's what makes it even worse. Is like it's one thing to have something like Summer Game Fest, and it's not the greatest thing in the world, but at least we have it, and it's a stage show, and it's kind of reminiscent of what we had with E3 and all that. It's cool. But when you got all these different stuff, and then you got to sit through some of these shows, and they just start dragging, or the people that they have over them have no type of personality, or the shows just suck. You're just there for like one game. Like to be honest, for that Ubisoft show, I'm just trying to see the more of the Star Wars Outlaws footage. But I gotta sit through other stuff from Ubisoft that I just don't care about. Oh, and Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm trying to see that. So I don't know, man. That the not E3 season is not all that great. Irregardless, YouTube, this is Sora Life Story. Check me out tomorrow. We are watching the Xbox Game Showcase. So please feel free to join me. But this is Sora Life Story. I'm checking out, and I will see you guys later. I hope y'all have a great day today. Peace.